If you had warm nacho cheese coming out of your belly button, also a party. You can think about it.
Do you want my secreted cheese?
Well, yeah, because it's like a nozzle. It's kind of like, you know,
a nozzle.
Yeah, it's not quite a nozzle, but like it's a nozzle from somewhere inside your body to it is going to come out of the belly button. So yeah, it's like a straight shot. But I think you're right. There always could be a leaky nozzle.
It's the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Allie.
Hey.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Yes. What
everyone,
the hell
I guess.
was I going to say? Oh, yeah.
You were going to give the update on Ginger and the pups.
Oh, that's right. Welcome to the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. So for those of you, we did talk about this on the Scott and Allie show, but if for any reason anybody missed it, and maybe you've only been able to catch podcasts, things like that. So we did announce last week that we know Ginger's pregnant. Well, Ginger had a vet appointment, and actually it was last Monday, which we were recording this before her vet appointment. Well, now that we're past that, we know that at that time she was 48 of approximately 62 to 64 days of a period of time that the pug is pregnant, and
that's still so wild to me that it's so short.
It's so short, and her belly's hanging almost to the floor when she walks around. It's pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. Dragging nipples, also just to pick up from last week's podcast. We know there's at least 2 heartbeats, maybe one hiding. The vet said, because they did a sonogram on her.
Whenever you're there doing the sonogram, does it sound like a remix? Because it's like boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom,
yeah,
boom,
I don't
boom,
know.
Boom, boom,
I
boom.
never
you
made
weren't
it
there. That's right.
I wasn't at that one.
Oh.
So, but we're getting there. Now, the one thing I will say is, because nothing in my life can end up, I can't catch a break on anything. The vet highly recommended a C-section because breeds like pugs, French bulldogs, any bulldog, period, they got big heads, and they
Small
said,
hips.
yeah, and they said this is
not birthing hips.
No, by far the safest bet for survival of the pups. Because I'm sorry, I have a 10 and a 5-year-old, and if these puppies don't survive because something went wrong in the birthing, I don't want that conversation.
You know what's? This is a fleeting thought, and it's kind of good. It's kind of good that your parents aren't alive. Like, you really don't or will not have to have a death conversation with your children, except if this happens.
Yeah.
Like, when else would they hear a death conversation? Oh, if Ginger or Finn, when they pass, but that'll be years from now.
Oh, years from now. Yeah.
Right. Other than that, there would be no need for them to hear a death conversation.
It shouldn't. Yeah, I think I'm going to be safe. Now, there's
but
good.
Be prepared. You might have to have it.
Well, and there's good and bad to that. So, first of all, back to Ginger for one more second.
Oh, yes.
I do need to have a conversation with the vet, though. When she goes in for her C-section, it's going to be one of these, I'm looking at you dead on here, because you make sure my Ginger comes out of this. You're going to remember, Allie, I take you back 17 years when my Wilma, one of my old pugs, unexpectedly had to go for an emergency vet visit because she kept on squatting like she had to pee, but she didn't pee. We thought UTI, right?
Yeah.
No, she had a stone that got lodged in the urethra from her bladder out. They couldn't save her, so she went to the vet for what we thought was an emergency visit and never came home, and that wrecked me.
Oh my God, yes.
So I'm going to have a conversation, with the vet and be like, look, she comes home, and the puppies come home.
I like how you're like, I'm going to look her in the eye. You and me.
You and me.
I had a girlfriend. I just had brunch with her, and we have rescheduled multiple times. And the first time we were going to have brunch, she took her dog in for an emergency vet appointment, and he didn't come home.
Oh, yeah.
To this day. So that was like it was like a month and a half ago. To this day, I still, when we were at brunch, I couldn't bring myself to ask her what happened, because I don't know. I just feel like that's such a traumatizing experience.
You don't want to bring it back out.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. And I mean, her and I are close, but she's never talked about it. And I was like, I'm not going to talk about it either.
Now, I want to come back to the death thing for a minute. And then I know you got a ton of things that you want to hit too, but I wanted to hit this because you said I may never have to have the death conversation with the kids. Well,
not
eventually.
Never. It's just that, like, they don't, I mean, your mom and dad aren't alive.
True. But I I'm going to take you from one extreme to the other. I'm going to have a conversation in some way with them about, people and or animals, eventually their life, ending, whether it's a timely or not timely, because I take you to the far end of the extreme on this. So we've talked about this on the show years ago. I have been on the extreme side where I really didn't even want to go back to my hometown of Buffalo for a long time because it brought back so many memories. So if you know this story, I'll share this for anyone that doesn't. Back in the early 90s, now I was young. I was in my early 20s. That is way too young to lose your parents.
Yes, agreed.
And my dad was only 63 and he died of a rare blood disease. A year later, my mom dies, also only 63. That is young on the grand scale of life expectancies. She died of cancer. But hold on. In between my dad dying and my mom dying, my grandmother, which was my father's mother, had passed away. Then my father's sister, my Aunt Marion, who was a wonderful soul, she, for lack of a better term, dropped dead in her kitchen. I'll never forget us hearing about that. I went through bang, 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 bang death. And it was all
Super
within like
traumatizing.
a 2 to 3 year span. I'm like, I am going home for funerals and that is it. And I can't anymore.
I can understand why you wouldn't want to go home for sure. I also wonder what kind of person you would have been if they didn't die at when you were so young. Well, they were young too, but if you were so young, my cousin Stacy, her mom died when she was 19, and this was my mom's favorite sister. So she died. My Aunt Nancy died when she was 48, I believe. And she, really heavy smoker. She had a heart transplant and eventually her body just rejected it. And I wonder what kind of person Stacy would have been if her mom would have been alive. Yeah. Because her mom was awesome and kind of she could bring you to reality. She would give you the real stuff. She was definitely a brash person, but somebody that was just so genuine. And I just wonder what Stacy would have turned out like.
God, it sounds a lot like my mom. It's crazy.
Right. And it makes me think, like, would you have turned out totally different? I think you would have.
Totally different? I
don't know about totally different, but I think there would have been some things that would have been different.
Let's put it this way. Being the fact that my mother was the person that she is, certain things probably for a long time not to be shared on this podcast. Maybe someday the parts of it will come out. Certain people that, shall we say, were involved in my past, in my life, would have had their asses handed to them, and situations would have been much, much different. But look, I can't spend my life going, what would it have been like? Because look, if you're smart enough, you get strength from challenges in life.
Yep. What doesn't challenge you doesn't change you.
There you go. So would I trade things that have happened in my past? Oh, sure. I mean, I might have been like, well, I kind of wish that something would have happened different. But then I also look where I am now and I go, it's okay.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of things. I was probably way too naive for my own good when I was younger, living that sheltered suburban middle class lifestyle that I had.
That you're the baby.
Yeah.
There's something to it about you being the baby. And weren't you the only child of your mom's? I know you have brothers.
Yes.
So I think there's that too, that you were like the baby for that reason.
Well, that's true. My father's first wife, and the mother of my two brothers had passed away in the late 60s of, at the time, it's Hodgkin's disease, but at the time, that sort of cancer, you figure the late 60s, there just wasn't a lot to do at that point. It was very difficult. Although I have to say it was amazing. And sometimes my brother and I talk about this. So there's a very famous hospital system in Buffalo called Roswell Park.
Yeah.
And Roswell is a worldwide leader in cancer treatment. And she actually went there in the late 60s. So you figure, what a fascinating evolution of where things have come in technology and medicine.
She probably would have lived way longer.
Could have been.
Oh my gosh.
Absolutely could have been. So there's, you can't look back at life and go, well, how would this all have been different?
Yeah.
We are who we are because what we go through and
I
what
know.
we've experienced and lived.
You did
Don't
say
get me wrong. If I could hop in a time machine today, no, not even a time machine. If I had some sort of a button I could push and say, I'm going to have one more dinner with my mom and dad in our old kitchen in Buffalo, even if it's just for one night and I could spend that one night filling them in on everything and hanging out with them,
Yeah.
I would totally do it.
Oh,
Maybe
God,
there's
yes.
people that would say they wouldn't because that would make them want to go, I just want so much more of this. I can't pull myself away from it. I would want the one thing to be like, oh my gosh, do I have stuff to tell you?
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I would want one last dinner as well. I think a lot of people would say yes to that for sure. I don't know how we got there from Ginger having babies, but
This
anyway.
is us. We go
I
from
know.
somewhere over here to somewhere over there right away.
Let me tell you what happened yesterday at the gym. I was so happy. I was so excited. So here I am.
You didn't fart on the treadmill.
Oh, I absolutely did.
Oh, well.
1,000 times.
You had a big accomplishment yesterday.
No, it really wasn't an accomplishment at all, but I just loved every second of it. So here I am I'm at the end of the workout. I'm on the Stairmaster. The Stairmaster is always challenging. I don't care
Yeah.
what day of the week it is. It sucks. It's never the fun thing that I really want to do, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to end it. And there it is. So all of a sudden, one of the trainers at the gym, her and I have been friends for a very long time. You know, Bonnie.
Bonnie's
Bonnie
great.
the boxer.
Yes.
So Bonnie's I would probably say a world famous boxer. So Bonnie the boxer comes up to me, but I also know Bonnie from other things besides just the gym and boxing. She was married to a friend of mine. And so we've known each other a long time. Well, Bonnie came up to me at the treadmill, but she also had somebody with her, but it was kind of like in my peripheral, so I wasn't sure who it was or what was going on. So I stopped the treadmill and I went to take my earbuds out, and she's like, no, don't stop. And I was like, well, what I did now, too bad. Like, what do you want?
You've got my attention now.
And she was like, we actually have a photographer here at the gym today. We're taking some promo shots for the gym. And is it okay that we take your picture? And I was like, yeah, sure. So here I am. I'm dripping with sweat.
Wow.
And she's like, there's
But
one
it is a great promo picture for a gym.
that I'm sweating.
Yes. You're putting in the effort, but I can't believe you said yes.
Yeah, well, hold on. We're going to get there. So then the guy, he is taking a couple pictures. So then I look at him. I'm like, oh, did you want me to like look at you while I'm doing the Stairmaster? And he was like, yes, you can if you would like. So I like looked at him and I smiled. And then he came and like, he like went around me a bunch of times and like took different shots. So at some points I'm like working out and other points I'm like smiling at him and I am eating it up. I'm just loving every second of it.
Allie's fashion shoot.
Yes. And that's
Sweaty and stinky too.
That's exactly it. So I just so happened to be wearing like a really cute gym outfit, but that's here nor there. So we get done. I see him walk away. He obviously doesn't say goodbye. He like walks away, and then I go and get my gym bag, and I come out, and he's standing next to Bonnie the boxer, and I said to him, "Secret time. I love getting my picture taken." I am so excited that you asked me to take my picture. And he's like, well, that's great. I'm like, I love it. Anytime I'm somewhere, we could be, Scott, at the Corning Museum of Glass. If they're taking promo shots, here I am. I will like walk behind people. Like,
Ancient behind.
hey. We could be at a coffee shop and I'm like, here I am.
Yeah. Take my picture. I was really hoping you were going to say that. Yeah, when you said that, like, I love having my picture taken. I was hoping he would have said, "Well, I forgot to put the memory stick in the camera, so none of them stuck." I would have died.
Well, and this is on that note, though. I was thinking, what if none of my shots are good? Because he did mention that the sun was coming in the window this one way. And he's like,
that's the photographer excuse for it. You ain't photogenic, lady. You are looking like a haggard mess.
I probably was. But
But you ate it up.
I also wanted to like just stand there and like do some exaggerated lunges and be like, I'm ready. I'm ready for my close up. I love getting my picture taken. So anytime a listener is like, oh, they're always real sheepish too. Can we get a picture? I'm like, can we get a picture?
Yeah.
Yes. Ask me for my picture.
I hate it.
And I will. It doesn't even matter if I'm wearing makeup or not. Like I tend to not wear makeup unless I have an event. So I don't even care. I'm like, give me your phone. Let's do it. I'll even. I ask listeners now. I'm to the point where if we're meeting in public,
it's been 10 minutes since I've had my picture taken. Can we?
Yes. We'll be meeting somewhere. I am at the grocery store and I run into somebody who says, oh, hi, I just wanted to tell you I listen every morning or whatever. The first thing I say,
grab your bananas. Let's take a picture.
I'll say, do you have your phone? Well, yeah. Well, let's take a picture. I always say, let's take a picture.
That is very inviting of you. I will say that because you've eliminated them having assuming they wanted a picture, having the fear of asking.
And that's another reason why I do it too, because I want to have that connection as well. And I don't want them to feel awkward. Let's just do it. Let's hammer it out.
So I will always take a picture with someone. I don't get the same joy out of it you do.
Oh, you're not doing lunges in the gym like over here.
No, I love that.
Wait, I'm jumping rope. Come here. I'm jumping rope over here.
Get me in this Rocky pose.
Yeah.
I love that listeners do ask. I think that's great. That's very flattering. And it's happened a lot for us over the years. I don't experience the same joy in it. I don't think I photograph well. I really don't. I think there are people that just jump out of a picture. Like you look at them, you're like, oh my gosh, they fill the whole picture.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And then there are people that just love to have their picture taken. You're welcome. And then there's me. I'm like, yeah, I am the 6-foot troll in the background that is, I don't think I'll ever look good in a picture.
You're like, my mom does this too. She will stand, she's like, I'll stand in the back.
Yeah.
Or she'll be like, Alicia, get in front of me. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't ask me twice. But we were taking a picture the other day and I was like, oh yeah, I'll get in the front. No problem. No problem at all. But my mom is 5'2". So Gail, you can't stand.
You can't be in the back.
You can't be in the back. Oh, she wants to be in the back.
Oh.
And my dad is 6. He's like 6'4". So she's always trying to like hide behind him. And I think she looks fine. I think you look fine in pictures too. I think that you look.
Notice the word fine, not good.
Oh, you look great.
Oh,
stop. You look like you. There is every picture I see. I never
there
think
being the underlying problem.
No, I think that I don't think you look bad. Your picture looks exactly like who you are. Sometimes people will take pictures and you're like, oh, not so photogenic. But then
that's what I feel like I am.
No, I don't think you're that way at all. It's just you look like you. There's no lost in translation on it.
Oh, well, all right. I mean, I appreciate that. I don't see it. I will take your word for it.
I will say you always look like you're having fun in pictures.
Well, I try to. I certainly don't want to look like my grandmother always did, like, or someone in the 1800s where they're always, here's their picture.
I know. Why did they never smile?
But never.
And if somebody takes a picture of me and I'm not smiling, I'm like, well, hold on, let me smile. I got these teeth. I got these teeth that I paid for. Let me show them.
Speaking of old pictures, and I have a theory behind something, and tell me what you think about this. You want to get real creepy for a minute?
Sure.
You know how when you see those old timey pictures, like the late 1800s, early 1900s, they're always looking miserable in a suit. They have the old West mustache going. It's always like 5 guys together and all that.
Yes.
And you ever notice sometimes a couple of the people in the picture, their eyes are like real glowy white?
Yes.
Have you ever done? I believe those are the souls in hell. And I believe it transfers back up to the picture. How cool and freaky, and am I weird or what? But
no, it's like, what did they do on Earth?
Right. Like you'll see a picture of somebody like, oh, this was, Doc Johnson over here, and it's always like, the Johnson family and their brothers. And it really looks like it was taken at the time that you would have seen Little House on the Prairie, right? And the ancient.
And it's real scribbly on the back.
Right.
And you can't quite make, it's like, is that?
It's almost a tannish white when they take the pictures. Like, well, not
like
even
sepia.
real black and white. But sometimes you see somebody with like almost there's a glow in their eyes, and I'm like, they're in hell.
Oh, that's a really cool theory.
Now you're going to look at old timey pictures, and you're going to be like, they're in hell.
When I was in college, we used to there would be those old timey pictures in the hallways. It would be like, oh, the class of 1901.
Yeah.
And now, if I ever go back to college, it's also I was in a sorority. We have them in our sorority house too. I'm going to have to go back and look to see which
sorority sister from 1918 is in hell.
Yes.
Yeah. Is that weird or what?
No, that's a cool theory.
I'm telling you. I think it's
love
there.
that.
I think something's not right.
I want to end with a would you rather.
Oh, God, yeah.
Wait, hold on a second. I got to move over. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the would you rather is, would you rather have a belly button that dispenses unlimited warm nacho cheese? Or a belly button that functions as a Bluetooth speaker.
I will take the belly button that functions as a Bluetooth speaker for so many reasons.
Let's hear it.
One, you know how I hate getting like food and liquid and sticky stuff or like this cheese like oozing out of your belly button. You're going to be gross.
You would always be wiping your belly.
Always. You're going to be in a job interview and you're, all of a sudden, like maybe you just wiped before you walked in to meet your future boss and it was dry walking in. Then all of a sudden, halfway through the interview, I'm like, there's a wet spot on their belly button area. What? That's disgusting. But the Bluetooth is kind of awesome.
Bro, you know how sometimes the Bluetooth will connect when you don't want it to?
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden I'm walking by.
And it's party rock anthem. And it's like. It'd
be kind of awesome. Yeah.
At least they can go, that guy is fun at work.
That guy's a walking party.
If you had warm nacho cheese coming out of your belly button, also a party. You can think about it.
Do you want my secreted cheese?
Well, yeah, because it's like a nozzle. It's kind of like,
a nozzle?
Yeah. It's not quite a nozzle, but like it's a nozzle from somewhere inside your body it is going to come out of the belly button. So yeah, it's like a straight shot. But I think you're right. There always could be a leaky nozzle. You could get cheese on your shirt. And then also every single time, did your mom ever have those tea pitchers? It would be like sun tea.
Yes.
And you would squeeze down on that little nozzle. You know how there would always be a couple drips of tea that would come after you were done filling your tea glass?
Absolutely.
So I could see that there being a couple drips of nacho cheese on the top of your pants as well. That's
not going to look awful. Take him to the hospital. He's got orangey yellow jizz.
I have a problem. I definitely get hangry.
This question proves you have a problem.
I definitely get hangry. And so I have no excuse. If I really am, I'm not a nice person when I'm hungry. So I think I have no excuse. I can always just cup my hand as if it's like a communion. And go ahead. What?
Can I want you to think about this for a minute, because if it's a man who is going to be your dispenser of nacho cheese, now I'm visioning, when you go get soft serve ice cream,
yes,
and they pull the handle down,
yes, and it makes that little,
and it makes the swirl.
Yes.
Think about the closest handle to the belly button. Do you have to pull that down in order to dispense the cheese?
God, I hope not.
Well,
but also I was thinking, now I had another visual. Because nacho cheese has so many memories in my life. And we're going to get back to the speaker.
I'm about to have nightmares for my life with this question.
But hold on. You know how the really popular on TikTok for a minute was the nacho bars?
Yes.
So I can just picture you. There's got to be a huge... Yes. There's got to be a huge table. Scott has a huge table in his dining room.
And if I push both sides of my belly, and God, this is why you have to watch this on YouTube. Is it like, and it comes out quicker? like toothpaste, you know?
Yes, it should. And then, but I was picturing.
Meanwhile, someone's holding my handle down.
But I was picturing though.
You gotta get it out somehow.
I was picturing more so that you have that really long table in your dining room, and I know you guys don't all know what Scott's dining room looks like, but you have that really long table. Just imagine a long table. Think of like the Last Supper. Yeah. Oh my gosh! Think of the Last Supper.
Yes,
the Last Supper, but it's a nacho bar or nacho table. So I was picturing more like you were bending over, Scott, and the cheese was kind of like dripping down
like a Cheese Whiz.
Yes. Yes. And you were bending over, and that's how the Lord partook of your belly button.
So this acid-filled Not For Air podcast with Allie Payne.
And then you swigged it down with some of that good communion wine. But then, wait, now we have to talk about the Bluetooth speaker, because I haven't made up my mind yet now. The Bluetooth speaker. I love going kayaking. And we always are like, oh, who brought the Bluetooth speaker, the waterproof Bluetooth speaker?
I always do.
Exactly.
Now, wait.
You always have the party.
To engage the Bluetooth speaker, do you use like the Pillsbury Doughboy? You push on the belly and it's like, and then it turns on?
It's way better than the nacho cheese nozzle.
Yeah. Every angle of this question points to use a Bluetooth in your belly button.
And And now I know that, yes, it could go off during an interview, but at least you're the fun guy.
Yeah. And, it really does give new meaning to, I enjoy listening to that, but the station's coming in a little fuzzy.
That was the worst joke ever.
Thank you.
Speaker it is, I guess. No, I want nacho cheese. Oh, nacho cheese out of my belly button. And then, because
Okay. Now, since we're keeping going with it, yes or no, nacho cheese out of these people's belly button. Are you ready?
Yep.
Jack Black.
Oh, you had to start with Jack Black?
There you go. I'm about to ruin it for you.
Oh, God. He has the stinkiest belly button, too.
And Harry.
No, not out of Jack Black.
So he's a Bluetooth speaker. Let's think of another one.
Yeah, because but if you do that, then he's going to be singing to every single song that comes.
I got cheese in my belly,
so
cheese in my belly button cheese. I'm Jack Black. I can't do anything but sing.
So does that mean, Scott, since you hate Jack Black and his singing so much, does that mean that you're choosing Jack Black's nacho cheese belly button?
No. I just no. I'm saying these are the people that you have to let me.
I just asked you back.
All right. I want the Bluetooth speaker.
Okay.
Donald Trump. It's already orange.
I'm going to say speaker.
You'd rather have a speaker. You would not no nacho cheese out of the Donald's belly button.
Because it would be very nice to turn up the volume. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yep. I hear you.
All right, that's all I'm going to say.
I'm trying to think of somebody else that I could throw at you to have. Would you eat the nacho cheese from their belly button? We've got a no for. We've got no's from both of them.
Would you eat nacho cheese out of
Gwen Stefani's belly button?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Probably, yeah.
No, I was going to say like somebody like Morgan Freeman.
That was.
Yes.
I really don't want to eat any of this nacho cheese. There's nobody that you're going to tell me that I think this is a good idea.
Everyone is basically Bluetooth speaker except for Gwen Stefani. I would absolutely.
You'd eat the cheese out of her?
Oh yeah. That's my girl crush.
Oh man.
If I was to go lesbian, I'm going.
Okay.
I'm going for it.
Jason Momoa.
Oh, that's easy. I'm definitely eating cheese out of his belly button.
Is that not the most perfect ending to this?
That is it. That is perfect.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Alley Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.